Good morning, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in on you. I hope that you are having a great week. I know that I am. Excuse me for a second. You guys hold on one second. Thank you. I hope that everybody's having a great week. I know that I am. It's been quite crazy. As I told you guys before, I'm experiencing growing pains, which is, if you're not used to it and you haven't been through it before, it can be scary. It can be intense, but it's a part of stretching yourself in whatever it is in life. You know, with me right now, it's in business. As well as personally, I'm really trying to take myself to the next level in purpose. And it's challenging. And for some of you who may not have been listening to or watching videos or reading what I do on a consistent basis, you may not be aware, but one of my primary goals for 2019 in business and in purpose was through the Visionetics Institute, my flagship company, to touch 1 million people, to change 1 million lives. And that calls for growing partnerships, creating new partnerships, using technology, expanding reach. So much has to happen. And it's crazy, but I am embracing it and all of its challenges. My goal is to pour into a minimum of 1 million people over the course of this year. We've gotten out to a great start, to be honest, but we're amping it up. And I am every day looking to grow into the person who is capable of being consistent enough to do what I'm demanding of myself. And that's ultimately how you get to where you're going. There's no magic potion. You can have all the strategy and all of the game planning and action planning you want to have, but if your mindset isn't right, if your mental capacity, emotional capacity, spiritual capacity isn't in line with what it is you're trying to do, you're going to frustrate yourself. It's a constant battle to stay in alignment and to challenge yourself and to meet the challenges that you have placed in front of yourself. And I relish it. You know, I relish overcoming obstacles. I relish overcoming mistakes and past poor judgment and decision consequences, which comes in life no matter who you are. And the thing is, you don't have to stay where you're at, no matter where you're at, no matter where you come from, no matter what you've done. You don't have to stay there. You are not required. I tell people all the time, one of the biggest mistakes I see with people who are just wallowing in misery is they are trying to mortgage their future to pay for their past. That's not how life works. Never, ever allow guilt, frustration, or any type of situation to cause you to mortgage your future in an attempt to pay for your past. The best way that you can make up for poor decisions is by becoming a better person, a better decision maker, someone that's not going to be doing the same thing over and over again. No matter who you are, no matter what background you come from, you are going to have issues and problems that are going to challenge your capacity to make the right decision at the right time. Don't let that bad decision define you. It's that simple. Prove that you're more than that moment and spend as much time in your life being the best person, but don't go back trying to you're so busy focused on trying to fix what you screwed up 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that you're not taking advantage of the opportunities that are there for you right now. And you've got to come out of that. You've got to learn how to see the opportunity and understand by taking advantage of the opportunity and being the best person you can in this moment and preparing to take advantage of opportunities that are in front of you is how you're going to overcome whatever blemish is on your record. And there is nobody on this planet that does not have blemishes. So stop buying into these social media personas. And it's kind of funny that I'm mentioning social media because that's what I'm going to talk to you about with business today. But before that, hey, for those who haven't heard yet, last Friday, so it's been almost a week now, we launched the pre-order campaign or promo for my 21st book, which is I Am. I Am focuses on the power of declaration. You know, it focuses on the postulation that I am is the two most powerful words in the English lexicon, because what follows sets your course of action, sets the path of your destiny. When you say I am, what follows is a declaration. And when you declare something, it is established until you disrupt what has been established. So you got to be careful of what you're declaring. A lot of people are declaring negativity. A lot of people are declaring failure. A lot of people are declaring all type of negative disruptions in their lives by their speech. So we talk about that. We talk about how to disrupt negative thought patterns, how to disrupt negative speech patterns, how to use positive speech patterns to even program the subconscious to think better. It's so much there. And so this is the second book following Critical Mass, which is my 20th book. 20th, and the link for this book is in there as well. This is the first in a book, a series of books, 6 to be exact. I Am is the second in that series, and it's a follow-up to Critical Mass. And I'm excited about what's coming. It's going to be released Friday, April 12th. And, you know, up until then, we're doing the promo. So you not only with this do you get a discounted price for ordering early, but you also get a free 30-minute breakthrough session with yours truly. Something to think about. Go for that. So now, real briefly, let's talk for a few minutes about ways that if you have a business, if you're thinking about starting a business, it's in your mind somewhere. Now is the time to do it. Yes, there are some pending things from an economic standpoint, but even an economic disruption in the US is not going to be the way it was 40 years ago or even 10 years ago. And why is that? It's because of a global economy. Technology has created this global economy. You're not forced to operate in your locality or in your state or even in your country. The borders are no longer there when you think about digital capabilities. You can literally operate a company that serves a market outside of the United States. And the only thing in the United States is you and your bank account that your money is going to. Everything can be outsourced. Everything can be set up. It can be done digitally if it involves you. It can be done over video or audio with a setup with no additional cost. There's no long distance cost for connecting and communicating anymore. It's all of these things are there. And what is one of the most profound ways that you can take advantage of the rapid advance of technology and the new age of communication and engagement and exposure? Social media. Social media has totally disrupted the marketing and branding model that was so prevalent for years and has totally turned it upside down. Most major companies have moved and shifted the vast majority of their conventional and traditional ad spend budget to social media. And there's no greater social media prowess right now than Facebook. When I look at people communicating on Facebook and I look at everybody saying they want to do this, they want to do that, and all of this, and then I see the things that they post. And, you know, I have a personal page. This is my personal page, but as you can see, I have 2 primary focuses on this personal page. What I do in business as far as personal develop, helping people develop personally, helping people develop their businesses and things of that nature is one side. The other side is community engagement, primarily in the Black community. And that involves politics, socioeconomics, education, mass incarceration, recidivism, all the restoration of the family, all of that's in that. And everything is going to be circled around that. And then it's going to direct you to my primary channel on which I focus solely on that. And that is on purpose. But here, I want to talk to you about right now, if you want to be able to target the audience, the traffic, the audience that's a part of a market that you're operating in, or that you're starting a business in, or that you're thinking about starting a business in. Right now, Facebook is king. The reason being is Facebook has this unbelievable process for setting up ads. They'll help you set them up, but then they help you choose the target. You got to do some research when you're marketing. You got to know who your target market is. You got to know what drives their buying decisions. You got to know how to get it, how to do what you need to do when you're in front of them, because Facebook will get you in front of them, but you got to have the right creatives in order to get their attention, because there are other people trying to reach into the market. Now, one way that you can overcome that that intensive competitiveness is by narrowing down your market. I mean, even narrowing down your niche. In other words, the more specified and unique the services that you deliver, the less competition you have. Now, the smaller the market, but you're going to have less competition. So you may have a market of 1 million people, but if you've got 100,000 competitors, that's a problem. You may have to get down to a market of 2,000 people where you may be the only person there, or maybe one other person. That way, you're going to probably get more people, and you're going to be able to tie them in and create relationships that lead to customer loyalty. And that's how you win in business. It's not just customer acquisition, it's customer loyalty. It's working with people and creating these relationships where they have a sense of loyalty to you, and they're just simply by nature going to come to you when it's something they need in your industry. But Facebook is that place, and you have to understand why. The day we talk about all these privacy rules, if every time you sign up for something, they tell you about their privacy rules and how they're going to protect your personal information. But the problem is that these devices that we are addicted to using, from our smartphones to our tablets to our computers, laptops, are guiding us and putting us in situations where we're exposing ourselves. That's why you can go online, search for something, then come to Facebook and you see an ad for what you search for. Or you can go just be on a site and look at something and spend too much time watching one ad, and you'll come to Facebook and you'll see an ad for whatever it was on that ad. And that's because everything is being monitored. That's why when you get a smartphone now, and it's Android, you log into your Google account to propagate the phone. Why? Because it's tying all your information into it. There is no such thing as privacy anymore. They know exactly what you're doing. That's how when people get on and you see all these ads of things that you've looked at, and my wife says, man, they're watching us, because we'll be talking about something and it'll pop up. And it's like, I don't think they've gotten that far where they're tapping in on you, but hey, they can listen through that. That's a two-way device. And we already know that they slipped up with iPhone, and and I have an iPhone and an Android phone. So I see how both of them operate. And iPhone slipped up a few weeks back, and people were able to sit up and use FaceTime to tap into you without you knowing it. And that was a slip up, but that shows you how easy that is. So what's happening? That when you own Google, and Google is by far the largest search engine. Matter of fact, Google owns the two largest search engines in the world. The first being Google, the second being YouTube. YouTube is a specified search engine, but it is the second largest that you can punch something in and find something in, period. And so, when you're on and you're looking and you're going to find anything, you're going to find everything. I mean, from the songs you look for and the videos you look for to everything else. That's because everything is tracked now. And so when you get on, all that information is available. And so Facebook has become exceptionally astute at targeting that and getting you in front of the people you want to. The way that you can specify a demographic doing a Facebook ad is unbelievable. And right now, the big thing, though, out of everything, it's highly affordable. It is unbelievably affordable in comparison to television ads, billboard ads, radio ads, and all of the traditional, from outdoor to mainstream radio and TV. Number one, it doesn't produce the way it used to produce for a number of different reasons. It's where the attention is at. Right now, Facebook has well over 1 billion unique visitors a day. That's where the attention is at. And knowing how to tap into those is what they do. And the thing is, it's not going to always be this cheap. So the time for small businesses to take advantage of it is now. And it's just get out there. And the thing is, it's a learning process, but you can literally connect. And the people in the ad and advertising and marketing department at Facebook will walk you through step by step if you don't know what you're doing. Or you can just sit up and you can play around with it, find out, set you a spend. I mean, you can spend as little as $5 a day. I would recommend a little more, but you can spend a little of nothing and get something. And depending on what you're moving, and you know, and I'm primarily a high ticket item. I don't do my books on Facebook, but I'm really considering starting to do books. I don't do books because it takes so many of them selling in order to cover a certain spend. But most of my book sales are organic. Well, all of my book sales are organic. So that's something I'm thinking about changing. And I'm looking at it and I'm doing the research now. So that might be a change in that. You might actually start seeing ads for my books instead of just posts. I'm really flirting around with that because I think I probably can do something with it. But you definitely have an opportunity. And then the thing is, while Instagram is another one that's climbing, Instagram is becoming major. And in case you didn't know, Facebook brought Instagram to compete with Snapchat. And so that's another one. So you got these major players. YouTube is another place. I don't do advertising on YouTube, but I use YouTube to generate ad revenue for the stuff I post. So it's a earning mechanism for me, as well as a propagating mechanism for me. So it works in helping to do what I do. There's so much room to play right now. Now, the thing is, Facebook is going to become more expensive because it's the place. You've got a lot of different corporations, auto industry, the retail industry, that are now literally shifting the vast majority of their budget for Facebook advertising because they see the massive potential for it, and they see what's coming out of it. Literally, people are restructuring in order to take advantage of Facebook. I heard early this morning, I didn't know it, but I heard early this morning for somebody I pay a lot of attention to. And if you got to find people that know the business better than you, and if you can't know them personally, get up under them and follow them. And that's what I do. And a person I follow a lot, Gary Vaynerchuk. Most people just call him Gary V because his last name is difficult to pronounce. But he was talking about the fact that when Macy's sold out or shut down all of their, not all of their stores, but a large number of their stores, people were thinking, okay, they're going to, no, they were literally liquidating in order to invest that money in Facebook advertising. That's how big the game is. Sometimes you got to step back and move backwards in order to sit up and create a larger, wider gate to move forward. And so those are the things that I really want to just kind of leave with you now, is that there's so much potential in the technology that we just simply play around with. We kicking it and talking and laughing and playing. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But you've got this mechanism that if you know how to play with it, and the thing is, I've seen and I've actually benefited from a situation where there wasn't any ad purchase. I just created some content that went viral, and I got a great deal of exposure out of it free. And that's the thing. If you're that kind of person that can be extremely creative, you can literally capitalize on the organic side of things by just making people laugh or giving some people something real significant to think about. And then they capitalize, then you capitalize on it being shared. And the more it's shared and the more it's viewed, the more power ranking your particular page and profile and website, anything connected to it, is going to get. It's knowing how to play the social media game as it evolves. And so you got to stay on top of things. You got to read things. You got to be connected. You got to know somebody. If you don't know it, you got to know somebody who does know it, and you got to play the game. It's about growth. And so you building your brand. Here's the final thing. Facebook right now is the #1 site, also #1 social media platform for brand building. If you're looking to build your brand on social media, Facebook is head and shoulders above everybody else. And so you really want to do that. Instagram is closing in fast and establishing itself. Twitter is losing momentum. They're probably going to have to come up with a new model. They've done some things with like Periscope and then live Twitter videos and things of that nature, trying to keep up. But because of the volume and how quickly stuff moves and disappears, The game is played a little different, but I think they'll actually evolve into it. Hopefully, if not, we won't see them for long because the game is getting serious. With that being said, look, there's absolutely no reason that you can't be out there doing some things, making some things happen. I can tell you now, while it is simple at a certain level, just getting things done, I didn't say anything about it being easy. You got to be committed to it. And like with me right now, going through these growing pains, if you're not committed to it, you will back down because it's painful. And for a person who hasn't experienced it before, it can be scary. But the thing is, when you know what's on the other side, you enter into this battle with this big smile on your face because unless it kills me, I'm going to win. And that's how I approach life. Unless this kills me, and if it does, I'm done. Doesn't matter. Unless it kills me, I'm going to get what I'm going after, and it's unbelievably wonderful. So I'm willing to go through the difficult moments, the discomfort, in order to have something greater. That's a mindset that has to be developed. Again, if you haven't pre-ordered, I Am #2 in the six book series. Get it if you haven't gotten the first book, Critical Mass. Here's 400 plus pages of awesome material. That's all I can tell you. Get it, and I'll be checking in on you later. You guys have a great day. As I always say, live life on full and die on E. With that being said, I'm out of here.